Hey guys, Adam Trigger here, wagertalk.com. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone has a great holiday weekend. We're talking NFL Week 12, and this is going to be the Sunday night game, another primetime game, Ravens and Chargers. First, just to talk about the Ravens for a minute, I had all sorts of Cleveland Brown futures coming into the season, gave them all out on Wager Talk to make the playoffs, to win the division, even sprinkled a little bit on the Browns to win the Super Bowl. Of course, horrible injury luck for me with the Browns, but they've still played pretty good football. And I do think if I don't get that division win now with the state this division is in, it's going to be because the Ravens continue to just play great football, close out this division, win games like the one we're going to talk about, which I think they ultimately will do on Sunday night. So the Ravens, again, I'll get to them in a minute. They just continue to get better. I had a 4% play on them last Thursday, handled the Bengals no problem. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do the same thing to the Chargers here. The Chargers, horrible loss for them. Joey Bosa getting hurt. This is a defense that already started to regress from last year to this year. If you looked at the defensive numbers for the Chargers through like the first, 6 or 7 weeks of the season, they were far worse than last year. Some people pointed to, Bosa being injured and missing a game or two. But even with him, this was still a worse unit, in my opinion, than it was a season ago. Then you had the Chargers get a little bit of a reprieve where in back-to-back weeks, they got to play the Bears with no Justin Fields and the Jets, who have become a completely inept offense. And I think it sort of unnecessarily elevated their defensive profile, just playing two very inept offenses. Well, now you've got no Bosa. And with no Bosa, you have not much of a pass rush. And with not much of a pass rush, this Chargers defense just isn't very good. They are not great at defending opposing quarterbacks, defending the pass. And in this case, I know the Ravens, they like to run the ball. Lamar Jackson likes to run the ball, and the Chargers have been okay in that regard. But Baltimore is still more than capable of moving it through the air. And with some extra time to game plan, because of course the Ravens played last Thursday, I think they're going to be able to do just fine moving the ball against the Chargers defense. Now, the Chargers offensively, you'd like to think that they, coming into this season, I thought this was an offense that might get this team to a Super Bowl. And I just haven't really seen it. I mean, even you go back to, some of the easier games that the Chargers have played of late, the Bears didn't play terrible defense against them. It was just they could not figure out how to defend the misdirection, quick little pass to Eckler. And the Jets were totally just, self-inflicted mistakes in that game, to lose that game. So the Chargers are going to be up against the Ravens here. This is an elite pass defense. So, I mean, Herbert is still going to be able to make plays, and the Chargers will probably be able to move the ball. I don't know that they're just going to get wiped out, but it's a very good pass defense. The Ravens make you pay for mistakes. They'll pick off bad decisions, and they are outstanding at covering opposing receivers. So, it's to beat the Ravens, you typically need a little bit of a run game. The Chargers just don't really have that. Like I said, they have a running back. They have a good player in the backfield in Austin Eckler, but he's at his best when he's more of a receiver out of the backfield, or the scenario I talked about against the Bears a few weeks ago, where they could just kind of like move everyone to one side of the field, throw across the field to Eckler and let him sort of make a play in space. He's not going to be someone that you're just going to hand the ball off to and pound the ball, which I think is what you need to sort of open up this Ravens defense. Without it, I just don't know that the Chargers are going to be able to do enough, to outscore the Ravens here, because again, no Bosa, I do think creates avenues for the Ravens to be able to score points in this game. Something that's, I guess, is not sort of a surprise at this point is that the Chargers are just a poorly coached team. It's kind of been, it was the running joke when Anthony Lynn was there, and it's almost like Staley has done like the hold my beer thing, right? Where he kind of, has been more or less has put them in bad positions at times than has been a coach that wins games. Something, we've noticed over the years with the Chargers, not a huge home field advantage. You've got two NFL teams in that stadium now, both of which have relocated in recent years, and the Chargers just don't seem to have the bigger fan base in there. I don't know if you'll get a bunch of Ravens fans to make the trip, but I've always sort of downgraded the Chargers from a home field perspective. So all things considered, I think this number is a little bit low. Even and now it's been bet down. So the Chargers seem to be taking some money. Like, definitely looks like they're getting the majority of tickets at this point when we're talking about this game earlier in the week seem to be Chargers. And I actually think you're getting a little bit of a bargain here with the Ravens only having to lay 3.5. I would have probably made this more like 4.5. So again, not a huge edge, but I still think the Ravens are probably, the value play here. So I would lay it again. I cashed with the Ravens laying 3.5 last week with relative ease against the Bengals. I don't know if it'll be as easy here, but I do think they're the right side against the Chargers. And head on over to Wager Talk. We have a great special, 7 days for just $69. You don't need a coupon. It's right on everyone's homepage. And what a great time of the year to try all access. We've got Feast Week, so much college basketball, and NBA, NHL are going on, college football games all day, all weekend, and the NFL playing on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Sunday, full slate of games, and of course, Monday Night Football. So great time to try the 7-day all access pass at a discounted rate. And if you like the videos, subscribe to our channel, give us a like here, and click on the other videos on the screen for more free picks from Wager Talk handicappers such as myself.